All right, so now this time I have everything settled, messing around with RPAN Studio. I think now we're getting audio, which is good. Last time I didn't have audio. I'm glad that I stopped a little bit earlier. I cut the last stream out. Now we're starting over again. It's gonna take me a little bit before I perfect this. Honestly, I'm a little bit nervous. It's my first time. It's my first time in my life ever doing something like this. So, I kind of jumped on the bandwagon a little bit late, but there's always a first time for everything, and I'm excited to see where these next 30 minutes take me. So we're going to start everything again. This time we're going to sort of go in the same structure that we normally do. I'm just going to go ahead and get started as if I was just recording from my GoPro on my walk. So I see that we have a watcher. Very happy that we have someone watching, and I hope they benefit from this as much as I did while I was doing the walk and the jog. Okay, so this is week 10, day one of my journey to a 10K. The videos that I make here are to document myself getting to my eventual 10K in hopes that I can actually do it, as it's been something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. My girlfriend's right next to me, smiling at me. Makes me a lot more nervous, but I guess that just comes with the territory. Okay, so now that we got the audio working, let's just go ahead and do this. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to start alternating between walking and also jogging. So I'll be doing jogging for about a minute and also walking for 4 minutes. I don't actually start that cycle up until 5 minutes from now. So just in the meantime, let's just slowly get into the groove of things. This is so that we can just warm up, be a little bit limber, be ready to go when we start jogging. I'm very excited because up until this point, the only thing that I've been doing is walking and, of course, doing some cross training if you've all followed along with me in the past couple of days. Cross training generally consists of just me riding my bike. That's pretty much what I've been doing, and it's worked out a lot, and it's been a lot of fun. So, what I hope to do with this is, the reason I decided to do this is because it's going to be very hard for me to jog and also talk at the same time, but I still wanted to have this Reddit live stream factor into it. I just think it's a lot of fun. Again, I haven't done it ever, so I think it would just be cool. And hopefully for the people watching, they would also enjoy it. I know it's not as live as me doing the jog, but rest assured, I did this jog that we're going to be doing today like half an hour ago, so it's about as live as it can get. So I'm hoping that you guys all enjoy that. If you guys are all looking into doing your own thing, into starting your own, fitness journey or to do any sort of tasks, I hope that you guys can, stay tuned and hopefully we can do some more tasks in the future. This first thing I'm doing is mainly fitness related. So again, very much focused on my journey to a 10K, but I encourage anyone that's interested in doing the same. You can see that right up here, I have a link to my YouTube channel, just a shameless plug real quick. It's just all the archives of all the videos I've done up until this point. So if you want to also do the 10K with me, you can literally start from day 0, where we just do a 15-minute walk and you can gradually increase all the way up until finally getting to doing an hour walk. The hour walk actually comes after 7 weeks of doing that first part. So it's like the graduation bit. And then after those first 7 weeks, we get into a little more intense workout where we start jogging, which is what I'll be starting to do today. Probably going to start in another 2.5 minutes jogging. You'll notice when I do. Hopefully the GoPro works well for that. I have the hyper boost mode on, and I mean I'm using the windscreen, but the volume is muted on the video, so you guys can't even hear that. But hopefully the hyper boost helps a lot. I've used the hyper boost on my bike, so I'm really hoping that is going to be something that we can benefit from here. So I see one of the cool things that I like so far about RPAN Studio is we have like the chat. It's a lot easier for me to chat on my keyboard, and I do have a mechanical keyboard, so I'm going to start a chat here and see, for anyone that's watching, hello all, and thanks for watching. Arredondo P. Wow, that's literally my girlfriend right behind me. She just messaged me. That's pretty cool. It's the first chat ever. It's the debut of the chat. So for all 7 people that are watching, I want to start a conversation with you all. And now that I can actually sit down and talk on the mic, hopefully this can become a little bit of a podcast. It'd be super cool if I can get someone else with me. I don't know if you can do that on RPAN Studio, if you can like link up with someone else virtually and have sort of like two screens on the same stream somehow. I don't really know if that'd be really cool. How did I feel jogging today? I felt very good jogging today, so I can talk about that for a little bit. This is the first time from this whole documenting of my 10K journey, which is probably going to be several months long, that I started jogging. The reason that I took my time to get to this point is so that I can do it in the most safe way. Actually, okay, here now you can see that I start jogging. So looks like the GoPro, the stabilization is actually really good, and the video's surprisingly stable. So I'm very happy for that. So the jogging went very well today. We did 3 sets of 1 minute jogs followed by 4 minute walks. So if you're all following along with the workout, essentially it's going to be a 5 minute warm up walking, followed by 3 intervals of 1 minute jogging, 4 minutes walking, and then finally a 5 minute cool down. So I definitely felt like I had the energy to be able to do it. I wasn't tired. However, I noticed, and this is after the fact, like I walked my dog after doing the jog, I did notice a little bit of pain on my shins, and it wasn't anything that I'm concerned about or even discouraged. It just might be a hint that either I need a longer warm up or maybe I need to do some stretching beforehand. But that's something that, I think is a good indication of growth. Previously, when I was younger, I would just get out of bed and try and start jogging right away, and I would again do it for a couple days and then just fail because my legs hurt way too much and I'd get shin splints, and then the consistency just goes down the drain. The point is that fitness is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So that's something that I'm hoping to accomplish with this. So you can see now I just got into my first jogging, or rather first walking bit. So I'll be doing this for 4 minutes and then I'll start jogging again. The first one went by really good. The second one I felt a little bit more tired, but by the third one I felt like the most warmed up and definitely ready to go. Something that I noticed that's a little bit annoying, I had to use my iPhone to map my time. So, having to do the laps on the iPhone and having to hold it and look at it consistently is, I don't think, the best way of doing it. Maybe something like an Apple Watch would benefit me a lot here, or something with an indication of audio that I know when to start and stop each one of these different laps would be really beneficial. I don't know if anyone watching has anything to suggest for me in terms of that, but that's something that I'd probably consider next because it takes away the focus of looking straight and really focusing on the exercise. So let's see. Does it say in the guide that you should warm up or something? So on the guide, it does say, it just says to do a 5 minute walk. It doesn't say to do anything different than just that. So I think it really just comes down to me. I can probably benefit from warming up at home or doing some of my own stretches. I just have to kind of listen to my body and see how I feel. Tomorrow will be a good indication of that, or maybe even on Wednesday when I have the first break, since I just have complete downtime. I'm really going to see how my body reacts to this, and hopefully everything goes well. So let's see another comment here. I think there are apps to keep track of the time. Yeah, I know there are apps to do that specifically for running for joggers because again, it doesn't help to take your focus off of the road. So yeah, it's something I'm gonna have to look into, but we'll see. Yeah, so here we're probably midway through the walking part. It was a short exercise today. It was 25 minutes, which is something I like. I feel it's still, it's a nice change from doing the 40, 50, 60 minute walks that I was doing before. However, it's only going to last for about 2 weeks. After that, we're going to start increasing the time again to about 35 minutes, 45 minutes. And even at the end of these 7 weeks, actually at the end of the next 5 weeks, since we're already 2 weeks into our second leg of the whole journey to 10K, we're going to be probably getting up to, I think it was 50 minutes. So it's going to be very interesting. 50 minutes of walking and jogging, and then after that following into, like, for example, just to put it in context, after these next 5 weeks we'll get into leg 3 of this whole journey, and the end of leg 3 is going to be a 5K, like 3.1 miles, which I haven't done in probably a decade. So just the fact that it's only 9 weeks away, which sounds like a long time, but I know it's going to go by in a flash. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. I feel like that's gonna be the real, like, if anyone does strength training out there, that feeling you get like the first time you lift 135 on a bench, that's like a good benchmark to be at. Like if you can do a 3.1, 5K, I think it's pretty good. I don't know if there are any runners out there, any joggers, anyone that's like really, really into this sort of thing. I know there are like a tons of different forms of cardio, but this is just again a personal goal of mine to be able to especially do running. So I think coming up, we're going to be getting into the next leg of the workout. not the next leg of the workout, but we're going to be doing the next jogging portion. So we'll see how this comes up. Again, I have to constantly be looking at my phone to be able to gauge, okay, when is it that I'm actually going to start? So, okay, here we go. Yep. This is the next jogging portion here. So I made a right into this little bank here, and the road was a little bit more uneven, but I think some unevenness is probably good just to shock the muscles a little bit. Although I'm not sure if it's too good for my shins, but anyway. All right, so kind of random. What's your favorite artist? That's really random, but um, that's a loaded question. It's very hard to answer that because I have a lot, and I think nowadays with like the playlist that they have from Spotify with Discover Weekly, it's I don't know. It's like a hit or miss, right? Sometimes I'll get really good artists, sometimes I won't. But if I had to pick one that I'm really into right now, well, let's see. I think now it's nice again to be sitting down because I have my phone at my disposal so I can look things up. So I've been listening a lot. I'm still stuck in like 2004 through 2007, like early pop punk. I got into that genre of music and I've never left, and I have no shame in saying that. So I'm constantly still listening to like Fall Out Boy and The Strokes and I don't know, We the Kings, things like this, Rooney. But artists I got into a lot recently, which is pretty great. I think they're called, let's see. So the album is called Southern. Okay, The Almost. The Almost is a band that I recently got into, and it was just an album called Southern Weather. So that's been a lot of fun. It's one of those albums that I can just leave on from beginning to end, and I feel like if you can leave an album on from beginning to end and you don't even like think about that transition, it's a good album. All right, so I'm gonna talk about that little white title that just came underneath. So my second source here is a video source, or I guess they call it a window capture of VLC media player. And I aggregated all the videos off my GoPro, and then I put them into VLC, so it's just playing them one by one, like sequentially. So I'm just gonna let the whole thing go up. Again, I don't know. I could have like RPAN, the studio here, RPAN Studio gives me the option of making the source the actual video, but that was taking way too long. So I figured I'd just play it directly from something like VLC and do the window capture, which seems like it's working out pretty good so far. Of course, if anyone has feedback out there, I'd love to hear it. Love to hear what you all think. Again, this is my first time ever doing this sort of thing. Super excited. I'm super happy that we have 31 watchers right now. Like that's very awesome. Thanks a lot for the wholesome award. I appreciate it. Just trying to have fun out here, trying to hopefully encourage some of you all that are maybe looking into doing your own fitness journey, just some videos that will help you get there. Especially me, I'm a software developer, and my girlfriend's actually a software developer too. It's the first day she started as one, so that's very cool. But yeah, you can imagine that you're sitting on your desk and you're just like hunched over all day, right? Like kind of hurts your back just being like that all the time. So you gotta get out into your exercise, make sure you're just like sitting up, getting out of your chair and doing something. That's eventually what this channel will be. Again, this is mainly just focused on fitness, but as we keep going here and as we keep doing more of these videos, we'll finally get to do more tasks. I'm hoping that I can hopefully do tasks like cooking or software related tasks. Now with something like RPAN Studio, it'll be very easy for me just to live stream coding, for example, how to do something related to that. That'd be a lot of fun. Or eventually when I get enough subscribers on YouTube to go live directly from my GoPro, I can do things like cooking. And I'm not a cook by any means, but it's something that I'm interested in. And similarly how I'm interested in doing the walking and jogging stuff, we can do the same for cooking. So I think that'd be a lot of fun. All right, let's talk something that I've been very much interested in for the past couple of days. And I'm sure that at least some of you have probably been interested in as well, and that is the stock market. I don't know a lot about the stock market, but let's see where we're at. If anyone's holding the line with GameStop, you know that GameStop today is taking a little bit of a plunge. I don't know if that's a scare tactic or what have you, but it is what it is. I sold too early on my GameStop stocks when it was 50 bucks. I bought at around 12, sold at 50, but it's okay. Lesson learned. I still came out on top, so that's probably the best way to think about it. That's just what I tell myself all the time. You know, it's tough, but we're gonna get there. So let's see. BlackBerry looks like it's doing all right. AMC, it looks like it's doing okay. I had invested quite heavily in cost because That was one of those hype stocks, and it looks like they're down almost 50%. So that's not really the best. But I definitely got into it with all this hype that was going around, and Elon Musk doing his own tweets definitely helps the cause. So I just stuck with it. But I think it's cool. I mean, hopefully it gives people that aren't normally into stocks a chance to be interested in it when you have all these big players talking about it and all this hype surrounding it. So this is my next jogging here. This is going to be the last one. So on this first time that we're doing this, we just have the 3 jog, and then the walking in between, but something different. Again, I'm very happy with the stabilization on the video. Looks really cool. So Zade here says South Florida is very cool and interesting. Yeah, South Florida is fun. I mean, I was born and raised in South Florida. I've been, yeah, I'm 27 now, so I've been living here for 27 years, and I honestly I love it. I love being in South Florida, and I can't wait for the summer to come around when it gets even hotter than it already. Well, it was a cool day today, but it's gonna get hot again, and hopefully go to the beach and stuff. Yeah, have you ever been? Well, I'm guessing you haven't been, or maybe you have been. Have you been to South Florida before? And if you have, what areas have you visited? Are there, if you're thinking about coming to South Florida, why are you thinking about it? Be curious to know. Is it because of the beach? Is it the weather? Is it the leisure? You know, tell us about it here. Pretty much talking about anything. Yeah, this is I mean, I sort of consider this a podcast, but it's just really me talking stream of consciousness. I think it's fun to do so. I don't know, maybe tomorrow, now that I'm getting a little more used to this application here, maybe tomorrow we'll have even more like windows split up and we can, I don't know, browse the web together and stuff. Was in Southwest Florida for 3 weeks for the weather. Yeah, the weather is pretty phenomenal, especially now, probably from, I don't know, if you get lucky October, but mostly around Thanksgiving until maybe like March, it's really, really nice. It was raining earlier this morning a ton, which I don't, you know, we started waking up earlier today on account of my girlfriend starting a new job. We kind of just wanted to get to a more strict schedule again. And didn't help that it was rainy and cloudy when we woke up. You kind of just want to stay in bed. But I liked that it rained because it meant that a cold front was coming. And I actually looked at the weather, and there is indeed a cold front coming. And cold for Florida is pretty much anything under 70. But if you get there to 70 degrees, it's really nice. And I know that a lot of people living in the north probably are just thinking like, "Oh my God, that's so hot." But people in South Florida, when it gets under 70 degrees, like they're pulling out their Uggs and they're just going at it. Christmas Day through MLK Day, weather was much better than Chicagoland, I'm sure. I've never been to Chicago. My brother went to Chicago last year with his girlfriend. It was like a spontaneous trip. He mentioned the hot dogs, I think it was. And he said you had to eat the hot dogs with mustard. Now, I'm not a fan of mustard, but as I've gotten older, my palate has matured a little bit, so I like to think that if I went, I would try with the mustard because, first of all, I gotta give the hot dog justice. I gotta do it right. But I'd like to try mustard again. I don't know. It's probably not as bad as it seems. All right, so Fast Eddie G says, then we hit Orlando for 3 days of parks before heading back home on MLK weekend. Nice. I love when people talk about Orlando here because that is, I feel like well, my second home is my actual home where I grew up, but I'm so close to Orlando and I love going to Orlando and I feel like I know a lot about it, so I really like to talk about it. So I'm gonna go into that a little bit. So what parks did you all go to and how were the crowds? My girlfriend and I went last year in August, and a lot of you might be thinking that's crazy because it was sort of like in the midst of Corona when it was like I think probably a lot worse than it is now, but frankly I haven't followed the news too much about it. Um, Disney was not as careful as Universal, at least then, but we're pretty careful ourselves, so I wasn't really too concerned. And to be completely honest, as far as we know, we have not been diagnosed with COVID, nor have we ever had COVID. So yeah, I'm curious how the parks were. My favorite park is probably Hollywood Studios. Now that I've gotten a little older, when I was younger, probably of course Magic Kingdom. But yeah, I really miss Orlando. I miss Disney World. I'd like to go back when things are a little bit more normal. And I kind of just want to give it a little more time too. I feel like going now, I don't know. I like it so much that I don't like going a lot because then it loses as cheesy as it sounds, it loses the magic. Like I think that's just what it is. So anyway, I want to say I appreciate a lot the conversations we've been having here. My first time doing this. Again, I'm pretty nervous. I hope that you guys are all enjoying this, but it's been a journey for me. I've really, it's cool that I started, a while ago. I started back in maybe early December with just my iPhone and that's it. And now I have a GoPro. Now I'm doing these sort of live streams, and I love the fact that I get to just engage with the community, just have a lot of fun with you guys, and that's really what it comes down to. And I hope that people watching this can benefit from it, and they can be motivated to go ahead and start their own fitness journey, at least for this first task that we're doing. All right, so Fast ADG says they maxed out 25% total capacity, but given the time of year, they were not crowded at all. Went to Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and then the third day was hopper between the two Universal parks. Yeah, yeah, I know they've been maxing out recently. That's pretty cool. I guess a lot of people want to go, but given the time of year, they were not crowded at all. We went to Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios. Yeah, yeah, it's like the two that I mentioned, right? You can't really go wrong with those two. I mean, I also love Animal Kingdom because they have pretty good food. They have fun rides. Like Dinosaur is one of my most favorite rides of all time. That's really cool. And then you said you went to Universal Parks. So did you get a chance to do the new Hagrid's like motorbike ride? I think it's Islands that has it. We did it in August and it was phenomenal. Mind you, when we went, we stayed at the Lowe's Royal Pacific Resort, so we got the Express Pass, but that ride yet has yet to accept Express Pass as a means to go on it. But the line was 25 minutes. When my brother tried to go with his girlfriend the first time, I think the line was upwards of like 4.5 hours, which is insane. We did Hagrid's 3 times. Very cool ride. Yeah, I think it's my favorite. Okay, I know I said Dinosaurs, one of my most favorite rides, but Hagrid's is very cool technology. It's very unique, and they really, really killed it with that. I'm very happy to see that from them. From my perspective, Disney was night and day better in terms of social distancing, cleanliness, staff reminding folks to pull up their masks, etc. We didn't see enforcement much at all at Universal. Social distancing was not followed much at all. That's interesting because, yeah, I would say back in August it was definitely the other way around. But I'm glad that Disney maybe has picked up a little bit. Maybe they heard, rumors or just talking of people saying like, oh yeah, Universal's doing so much better. But hopefully they both are just doing good to ensure the safety of all their guests. I'm not a fan of Harry Potter. My kids are, but it might have been the best roller coaster I've ever been. The line was around 30 minutes each time. Man, okay, that is great. That's really the way to do it. I mean, waiting in a line that long is not fun at all. You know, when we went, I think it was probably my second trip I ever did with my girlfriend. Uh, we went to Orlando just like on a regular weekend, and I remember we woke up early to get to Animal Kingdom so that we can try to do the Avatar ride. And I'm telling you that we were there before the gate was opened. And the first thing we did was go to Avatar. And as soon as we got there, the line was 3.5 hours. And we waited. We literally got in the line at 9 and we got out at like 12:30. Like it's insane to even think that I could wait for something that long. But the ride was awesome. We loved it. Now, would I do it again? Probably not, unless it starts going down, which it's not going to go down anytime soon. But, it is what it is. All right, here we are starting the last bit of the video. Apologies if you guys hear the dog in the background. He's barking, he's going crazy, probably misses his owner. So I think I just remembered the video is actually going to be 25 minutes. I thought it was going to be 30. So I'm going to start wrapping up here, but I just want to say, to everyone that watched today, I'm so glad that you guys were able to watch and enjoy my first RPAN Studio stream with me. I'm definitely hoping to do more of these, and I'd love to hear feedback from everyone that watched. Let me know what you liked, let me know what you didn't like. Do I talk too much? Should I put the audio up on the video? Do you guys want to talk more about fitness? If you guys want to be a conversationalist with me, sort of like a podcast guest, how Fast Eddie G was, you know, let me know. I'd love to have you on the show. I think it'd be a lot of fun. That's nuts, isn't it? Opportunity cost for sure, but at least you were able to ride Avatar. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, and I'll do it again sometime soon. But yeah, like I always say, thank you all so much for watching. If you guys do want to see more and you guys are interested in following along with me from all the other videos I did before, just follow me on my YouTube channel up there, task with me on YouTube, and hopefully at some point we'll be doing a lot more other tasks not related to just fitness. So As I always say, stay fit and stay healthy. I know the stream's gonna end in a little bit, so we'll see. It's been a lot of fun. This is awesome. I mean, never in my life have I done anything like this. Like I said, I feel like I kind of got up late on the whole bandwagon, but it is what it is, and there's always a first time for everything. Fast Eddie G, I like the discussion interactive, but also would be curious on your perspectives on your life and experiences. Yeah, absolutely. That's something really good for me to take note of for tomorrow. I'm going to be doing the same thing tomorrow. I think it might even be the same style of video in terms of like the workout itself. So expect something like this from me. I'm glad that we had, some watchers with me here. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now. Again, if you liked what you saw, you have my YouTube, you can follow me on Reddit, and we'll just go from there. And yeah, tomorrow we can talk more about my life, perspective and experience and all these great sorts of things. So as I always say, stay fit and stay healthy, and I'll see you all very soon. Take it easy.